My name is Tina, and today I'm going to show you part 2 of my little series where I show off my Walt Disney World scrapbook album done in Project Life page protectors. So in the first video I showed planning our travel to the parks and our first day in the parks. So today I'm going to go over our second day in the parks. So in our second day in the parks, we were at Epcot. So once again, I have the guide map from Epcot, and we were there at the holidays. So we have the holidays around the world, just a little section there so we can show what's going on. I've got my title card for Epcot, the date we were there, December 2nd, 2013. This is our third day of our trip, even though it's the second day in the park. Selfie at the bus stop of my husband and I, and then kind of what we did when we first got to the park. This is a little bit out of order. I actually did Spaceship Earth first, but it didn't quite fit my pictures in the page protectors that way, so I switched them around a little bit. But shh, we'll keep that a secret just between the two of us, right? Or us and the world, however that works. Anyway, this is a cute picture. One of the PhotoPass photographers used my camera in order to get a picture of my husband there, and that's Stitch's ears behind him. I don't know if you can see that on the video or not, but anyway, just kind of a fun thing. I've got lots of Project Life cards in here, and then this here is Project Mouse, a little sticky Brad with a Mickey head. I don't remember who the manufacturer on that is, but I use those quite a bit throughout the album. On our next day, or the next page, we've got the Spaceship Earth card, and then our pictures just in front by the PhotoPass photographer. A little bit for Mission Space. This is a journaling card from Project Mouse that my husband put together. The extent of his journaling is Mission Space. He circles the guy with the fun sunglasses, and then he puts his name as Scott. Whereas my cards, I got test track, I've got what I liked about it, I've got a description. You could tell who the scrapbooker is in our family and who was just humoring his wife because he loves her. Anyway, over here we got test track, we got a card. This is a stamp. I believe this one was Close to My Heart stamp from a long time ago. Little Mickey heads throughout. Finally, we get to the World Showcase, and in the World Showcase, I kind of did a page. Our first time around, I did a page for each of the countries. So here we've got a little Canada title card, my husband being funny behind the, I don't even know what you call that, the photo picture taking place, right? Anyway, then we got the United Kingdom here and Morocco here. When we were in France, we met Belle, so we got our pictures taken there. There was a really short line, and got our pictures taken, and then we got the autograph card that we had her sign. Jumped over, got a few pictures in Japan, and so I used the same papers here to denote that these two go together, and then Italy is this way with the same papers here. So we had advanced dining reservations at Via Napoli, so we were kind of on our way to Italy. So here we stopped, we got our meal. I love this Project Life card that says love, so I've just put a little bit about the meal there, how much it was, rating the restaurant here, picture of the restaurant on the outside, the menu. We just got a salad and pizza, really good, showing my husband with a big huge slice that we had taken out there. After we finished eating, we just continued around the world. So our next stop, of course, was Germany. And I've got this Project Life card. This is, I think, the only one that I have from the Princess kit. But I kind of have this pointing to this page a little bit with meeting Snow White with her signature there in Germany. If I flip that little page over, then we get to China. So because we were there during the holidays, they had all of their storytellers out. So this is the Monkey King, part of the China storytellers. So we watched him for a little bit. We didn't stay for the whole performance, but it was pretty cool. I kind of wish we would have stayed longer and took in that whole performance that he had. So here's my China card. just some random pictures about China. I tried to highlight all of the different things that we did. So I didn't have any pictures from the reflections of China, so I've got a little title card there and just kind of what it was about. Over here we go to Norway, and Frozen had, I think that it opened while we were there. We hadn't seen it yet, but once we got back, of course, the Frozen mania hit. So I found this little printable, I believe it was on, Spoonful, I think is what it's called. It has Disney projects that are available to use. So I went ahead and printed that out, and then I cut it on my silhouette. This is a Project Life card behind it. I just thought it was so appropriate with Olaf. So I've got just the little, winter's a good time to stay in and cuddle, but put me in summer and I'll be a happy snowman. I didn't have a ton of stuff for Norway, so I just kind of used it as a filler, but I thought totally appropriate. Maelstrom, which is no longer there, so I got a little nod to it. Next country was Mexico. These are really, really old letter things. I think, gosh, might be Provo Craft. Super old. I mean, we're talking vintage stash here. This is one of those Mickey heads that I cut out on my silhouette. And just some pictures of the Three Caballeros ride. From Mexico. Turning the page, we went back into the Future World part. We ran over and did the Turtle Talk with Crush. And then we rode Soaring. Once again, my husband's journaling card. Soaring's not my favorite ride, but he likes it, so we make sure we do it whenever we can. And then we started around the world again after we finished that part. So back to Canada, and you can see by this time that the lights have started coming on all of the buildings. You can see my hair. Just, if you have somewhat naturally curly hair, Orlando is a frizz-bomb state for hair. Wow, is the humidity big up there. I tried straightening it, and by the end of the trip, I was wearing hats, I was pulling it back, I was doing whatever I could, but it wasn't long enough to put it in a ponytail at that point. So I was really struggling. So yes, that's my frizz-bomb hair. That was a long explanation that was probably not necessary, but oh well. As we went by United Kingdom, Mary Poppins was out. She didn't have a photo pass photographer with her, so my husband took those pictures with my camera, but she did sign for me. When we got back, I had watched Saving Mr. Banks, and I called her Mary while we were there. And she didn't say anything, but as soon as I watched that movie, I'm like, oh, it's never ever just Mary. So I had to make sure that I put that in, because as soon as I said it, it just sounded wrong. So anyway, just a fun little story that I had to throw in there. This die cut up here, this camera piece, that was an original Sizzix die. I think it was one of those yellow dies. They had the push lever Sizzix machine. I still have that. I still have my dies. I don't use them a ton, but I do like that camera. So that's what that is. Towards the end here, we've got the pictures from the PhotoPass photographer. I mean, we're up into France again. And then I was struggling to remember which of these which country was which when in the dark, but I believe that these were Morocco here, and I'm not sure beyond that, so which is why I don't have a lot of journaling there. But I did want to show the pictures because Epcot was so pretty at night. I loved just walking around and taking it all in. When we made our way around the second time, we went into the American Adventure, and this was our second day in the park. We were tired at that point. I think my husband and I both slept through parts of that show. Not that it was a bad show, just we were tired. And I'm guessing that we are not the only people that sleep in that show. Pictures from around the world that I thought were pretty cool. We were getting tired, like I said, tired. Anyway, so we staked out a place for Illuminations about an hour before the show. And that's something we rarely do. But we just wanted to sit down. So I made sure we got some selfies of our feet because those were the tired parts. And then after that, I just got my camera out and we took some pictures once Illuminations started. I had a little Gorilla Pod on my point and shoot, so I kind of wrapped it around the fence there. And I got some decent pictures, I think. I mean, they aren't fantastic or anything, but they're decent for what I was shooting with. So that's where all of the little fireworks pictures come in. Once again, in the top here, my husband's journaling about his favorite part of the day was the rides and the fireworks, and then he signed it, which was kind of cute, I thought. Over here, got some more pictures of each of us, and then some chipboard pieces that were Christmas related, I thought appropriate. And then we finished the day with our cards that we had each night saying how today was, my card and my husband's card. And then my husband snuck into the bathroom, and I couldn't stop taking pictures of Spaceship Earth. It was just so pretty. So I took a ton while I was waiting for him to go to the restroom. And look at that, next day is day 3. So I think that's where we're going to end for now. Thanks for watching.